Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening to you. Well, I'm going to get straight into this. There goes my window. And at the request of somebody, I can't remember who it is, but I've got to work it out at some point. Somebody wanted us to take the blue metal from window weapon and make it into a mop cover. So we've had a look at it. We've actually got two different versions of it. I'll just show you quickly. All right, who's here? Martin is here. Good morning, Martin. Yeah, I still haven't got my voice back. But anyway, I'm in fine form after my birthday. So, and we're really interested in your feedback as well about this part of a mop sleeve. Like, I know that some of the, like what I've said to my guys is I want that Velcro to run all the way along. We're not looking to cut back to the minimum cost. We're looking to make sure that thing just stays on there, the way you want it to stay onto the T-bar, So, if you get a little idea and say, hey, what about this, what about that, that's good. Doug's here. Good. Great, good to see you. So the way we've done it, obviously, the blue metal doesn't hold water, right? And later on, we'll be able to, we got this tailor-made for window weapons, so you'll see there's a seam there, but it's not, I don't think it's consequential as far as agitation. So the idea then is, like, on the inside, like, we've got, like, one version has got 3 layers of microfiber and the other version's got 4 layers of microfiber, right? Because what we want to do is we don't want to be putting a mop on the glass that can't hold water. So if I duck to this window there, you can see that. I mean, I'm no super duper guy with a squeegee, but what I want to do is show you A, that it's holding water, and B, that you can hold the mop underneath the squeegee and it'll hold water, right? And then if you're the person who asked me to make this, make sure you make yourself known, right? Because I've got 5 of them to go out, right? Anybody, I'll pick another couple of guys who are interested in trialing them, but alongside an order, because I don't want to pay all the shipping from China just for the samples, unless you're happy to throw in the money for the shipping. All right, so you look at that. It's got water. Maybe I don't need to yell. Okay, and it's taken up the water, right, on the way down. So you can see that the microfiber is working, yeah? But if you want super agitation, maybe it works. Yeah. What do you think? Interested in what you think, yeah? So I've got like five of each, like 5 with 3 layers and 5 with 4 layers of microfiber. I think what'll happen is it'll all be boiled down to how much water it holds on the inside and whether enough of that water gets through to the outside, yeah? But it's worth a go. And on the other side, maybe it'll become redundant with the innovation of the trad pad and the trad pole pad. So I haven't got them with me, but the window weapon pads again. The blue metal window weapon pad doesn't need to hold any water, but the trad pad, even though it's exactly the same profile, it'll have microfiber in it, so that if you go to put a trad pad on the glass, you can put some mixture on it. Okay, so there you go. Like, those of you who've got window weapon will completely understand what I've done here, right? This is stainless steel woven into polyester and turned into a mop cover with microfiber underneath. The other idea I've got, let me run another idea by you. All right, so you guys run scrims and microfibers and whatever. So this is actually Harrison's idea. Where does it start, right? Have a look at this. It looks very pretty like this. Now, the principle is just simply whether with your dry cloth, whether there's any advantage either in training, like I know everybody's got their habits, so the question is it may be something you put in for training, but whether it would be advantageous at all to actually guarantee that you're always hitting a dry spot on your way around the cloth, right? So these little pockets on the back would basically, you'd work your way across and around the cloth, and that gives you 20 guaranteed dry virgin materials. Now we could do the same in the middle as well, but I think it starts to get complex then. So we're just saying, well, what about this in this idea? And then secondly, I don't think we won't do it with blue metal. We did it with blue metal to start with, but actually we'll probably have just the corners with blue metal. And then if you knew you had a little mark, you know, you could just flick it around and there'd be a little super aggressive, you know, corner that you can use. Maybe just one corner with blue metal or something like that, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, again, it's, you know, sometimes you can overthink stuff, but it seems crazy not to at least present it and say, what do you think? Would it work? Does it systemize something? Does it, you know, how much time do you spend looking for a dry part of the cloth? Because this is my background, like, but I didn't get as professional on squeegee as you guys do, I don't think. But I was always, you know, I'd pick it up and look for the dry spot, and then, you know, get ready to scrim like that. So there's a part of us which thinks if you systemize that, then you don't have to think about where it is. You just naturally go to the next pocket and you'll know that you've got it. Yeah. Anyway, so we're interested in feedback. If any of you see this video and say, man, that's a really cool idea, but can you do this? Can you do that? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Like, it's still absolutely just the very first prototype. You know, that's my handwriting there, all those numbers, but we get this, you know, whatever size that cloth is, we'd get it printed. I mean, maybe you wouldn't even use the middle, you know, maybe you'd just not have the middle there. I mean, nobody's ever thought about that, right? Why do we have so much cloth if we don't use it all? So yeah, Paul, I'll get the translation on that. All right, so give us a hoy, let us know. That's just a couple of new things for today. I'm just putting the pricing together on Gunslinger for this year. So the range for Gunslinger will range from tip jar for those who want the original thing that you know, that was pre-Gunslinger. So, but we're going to make a tip jar for people. And then there'll be Gunslinger 1.1 will get a slightly new name because we've decided what it looks like for the year. And then the Gunslinger double barrel will be the same as the Gunslinger with the two loops on the front, because Gunslinger's got one loop on the front. What have I got? I've got a Monsoon on me. And then we're going to have the two-tool. Like, Shorty is gone. Two-tool is better than Shorty from the feedback, even though, you know, some of the guys like Shorty. There's two-tool, now that we're going to bend the toe up on the Shorty, on the two-tool a little bit more, so we can shorten it even more, get more water capability in there. So there'll be two-tool, then there'll be three-tool. Three-tool with two loops will be called Bigfoot. Then there'll be Monsoon, which is, you know, this one is Monsoon. So you can see that. Oh, tipped it on myself. That's hilarious. I should have tipped it sideways, right? And then there'll be Mad Monsoon with the stand, and then the Gunslingers with a loop like this. Yep. So the Gunslingers with a loop will come with quick draw. We think we've mastered quick draw now, so that should go out, you know, as standard with Gunslingers. And the guys who have got the other style, it'll be the combat loops straight away, right? So you'll be able to, the bigger, heavier units like Gunslinger, Tip Jar, and Mad Monsoon, those ones are going to have, I think we're going to stick with the loop for now, and have quick draw as a way of adapting them, you know, back to clips. And then the other ones, the two-tool, three-tool, and the adaptations around two-tool and three-tool will be the combat loops directly. And we're still looking, you know, any of you have seen Tough Built, we're looking for something like Tough Built, you know, that we can have a much better clipping system even again. But this is kind of like, unfortunately, you know, you've got to step up the ladder one step at a time, yeah? So that's it. What do you think? It's good, right? Now I have a wet leg. Oh my. Yes, anyway. I was having, Harrison was listening to a Joe Rogan. A lot of you must listen to Joe Rogan, right? And Joe Rogan just made this comment. Do you think, you know, Magic Johnson ever wrote a negative comment on YouTube anywhere, or anybody? Like, just never wrote negative comments. And Harrison was explaining to me that Joe Rogan says, do you know why? Because winners just don't even think that way. They don't even think that way. It doesn't even come into their mind that they would do that, you know? And I thought that's so powerful, right? So, you know, if you do see people gravitating towards negativity, like, you know, just remind them not to think that way. They're not winning
nobody's winning from it, you know. It's but the real people going anywhere, doesn't matter how big it is or how small it is, the fact is they're going somewhere, just don't even think that way, right? See, but we're looking at Doug, we're looking at the clip at the front, yeah. So we're looking at the military clips and survival clips, rock climber clips, all that. But I just haven't got a report back from the sourcing department yet, but I've briefed it. So the direction when we make our belt will be, there'll be a standard belt, like just an ordinary, you know, plastic, you know, piece belt. But the real game plan for the company is to find a really amazing belt buckle, and one that won't come undone, one that is not allowed to come undone. That's why I think with the military and the rock climbing and, you know, things like that, I mean, when that belt is done up, it's not allowed to come undone, right? It's just not okay. So maybe it's got a double lock like the combat loop does, or maybe it's just locked the locking mechanism away where nothing can bump it, you know, whatever. But that's the direction that we're going. Yeah. All right. Good. I'll answer your comments if you've got any. Even if you watch this later, then leave any comments and then I'll answer them.